Can you talk to the Gorgons behind me and tell them what's up?
Oh, are you talking about your snake lady?
Yeah, my snake lady. What snake?
She's not a demon. It's rude if you assume that.
Is he brown and fuzzy? It's my last question.
Hi, I'm Em.
And I'm Liv, and we're your PsycKicks. You really wind up for that.
So, a lot of people like to tell us that we're talking to demons
As psychic mediums,
and we would like to tell you
this episode's for you.
we are going to talk to demons.
Emily, honey, sugar, baby, darling, light of my, what is it?
She says that a lot.
Light of my,
Guys,
apple of my acorn.
if you have no idea who we are, hi, we're psychic mediums. We already filmed the video and we're a little bit loopy. So today we're going to be covering demons. And we usually like to do this thing where one of us research things, which is Liv, and the other one has no idea, no recollection of any of the information that they are about to spew at us.
Yeah.
So,
Emily likes to talk to dark things. We're twin flames. I am the lightness. She is the darkness. So it only makes sense for me to do the research on the scary things and you
Only
get to
makes
actually
sense.
talk to it.
because I was butthurt. I was like, I want to research demons.
You get to talk to them. Like I got to talk to mermaids.
Yeah, because there's this one that's really cool.
Alright, let me know.
So his skin is black, he's human shaped, and his eyes glow different colors. He says that the color in which they glow is how he communicates information to me because he's black, so he is the absence of color. But he's cool because he has this like, have you ever seen what happens to like liquid nitrogen when it hits room temperature air? It has that like fog that comes off and then drops to the floor.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that but black, and it just like all over his body it comes down and hits the floor. And then when he talks, the same thing happens. He has like a deep Mufasa type of voice. However, it sounds like it drops to the floor like liquid nitrogen. You want to ask me questions? Because I'm not sure what I need to know about it.
I was gonna say, why am I seeing something that looks like the big bad wolf? It's because that's what I would see him as, is like the big bad wolf. That's why I asked you, is he brown and furry? Yours
Definitely
is a
not
lot
brown and
cooler. Also, I was gonna say, is he the demon of raves because his eyes change color? Does he have a stick that he holds? Like a staff
He says he can.
in his right hand?
Yeah.
Is he the demon of sacred scary knowledge? Sacred scary knowledge.
No. What do you want to know? I'm not sure what I'm supposed to tell you about demons. Oh,
I don't know. You wanted to talk.
Yeah, but in the last one we just filmed, I asked you questions about mermaids. So, a lot of people like to say that you shouldn't say their names, like the demons' names. Wow. However, I feel like demons have a purpose in the world. They are just the other half of us. They are our balance. So a lot of people, we did a video on angels, and a lot of people don't think that human beings can be angels. So when you pass, they say, you're a human being, you cannot be a higher spiritual being. But yeah, I don't think that demons are bad or should be feared. However, they do weird things sometimes, but they're also here for a specific purpose and a specific reason.
They're not here for a long time. They're here for a good time.
So a couple things that I have perceived with demons or dark entities is there's different levels or different beings from different, dimensions, since we like to talk about that so much. But the one that I'm talking to is very heavy, very dense. So the way that I view it is it's like the dimensions go into this circle, and the closer you get to the middle of the circle, the heavier, denser things are. So that's where like hell is, or that's where all of the dark beings come from because their vibration is lower. So the way in which their particles or their dimension vibrates is similar or closer to like things that are solid. So when they move and come into the third dimension, which is where we exist, the physical dimension, it's harder for them to maintain their shape. So that's why we talk about them as like gases generally that need to have fuel in order to exist or in order to maintain their shape or form is because they are generally supposed to be lower. So they need something to increase or like combine their vibration in order for them to maintain their existence in this plane of existence. So the heavier a thing is, or the lower in which the demon comes from,
the heavier the frequency,
the harder it is for them to maintain their shape here. So all of the big scary things like from Annabelle or from the Devil's Rocking Chair, they have almost like a port key or like almost like a handheld to pull themselves up from the lower dimension so that they can maintain themselves in this dimension, which is why a lot of times we don't see these like big scary demons here, because it's hard for them to be here. We usually have the ones that are closer to our dimension that if we're sad, we usually have them come in and they like take our energy, which is not a bad thing. It's just you need to experience sadness. This entity is going to help you through that, take your energy, and then you don't have to feel sadness necessarily, or you'll be able to work through it.
It's learning experiences, which is if you have like a long bout of bad luck, the more you play into the bad luck, the more it's going to happen, because the more you're giving that energy to whatever that is. What you need to do is recognize that there's a bad luck happening and a small possibility of a negative or lower vibrational entity that's feeding off of it, and go, what can I do to change this? And then do it.
Yeah.
It's a learning experience.
So these dark entities are not evil or like something necessarily to be feared. They are here for a specific purpose. The things that come from lower, those things are more scary because they have more quote unquote energy, but it is harder for them to stay here, which is why they attach themselves to different objects. It's almost like if they were climbing up like a mountain or something. These objects are almost like the handhold, like I said, to pull themselves up into this existence. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So, you got questions for me?
No, the demon dude that you're talking to tells me that he deals with the knowledge of the dark world, which is why when he speaks, the things fall back down, because he shows me he has to do with the history of all of those things, which is why he's coming to you to answer your questions, because he knows all of the history, but the history isn't written like the history is written for,
like in the Akashic records.
Exactly, because you have to be a higher vibrational entity in order to write things down. Theirs is only spoken. Exactly, which is why he's coming to you.
Interesting.
So I guess we know how the demons keep track of everything. It's through verbal language. It's a verbal history.
I don't know, do you see words all over him? It's like it's written into their code.
Like a DNA, but it's verbal. They have to speak it for it to happen.
They say they don't have to necessarily speak things. It's
just
a part of their existence.
Track of it. Well, that makes sense because my
to
theory is that people create them. So
he's saying people aren't necessarily the thing that creates us. We are all the same thing. Us can't create them as much as they can't create us. We are the same thing.
I think it has to do with people speaking things into existence. So it makes sense that he's spoken, like that's how his heritage and the things about demons are transcribed, is through spoken language or speaking things.
They're just the information they use in order for them to help us better. Does that make sense? Because they're explaining to me that they're stem cells, so they are near things that give them specialization. So they are near our world or our plane of existence. So they get their specializations generally from us. And those are the things that are closest to us. The things that are heavier don't necessarily have specializations from us because they're farther away. They have some similarities, however, they tend to run the things that are lower. So the things that are closest to us, they pick up the information that we talk about in our plane of existence. So the things that we're scared of, those are the things that they use to help us understand our existence or understand the pains of things.
Yeah, because dark things are there to help you. But it also makes sense, though, too, because they're lower vibrational, and how do people in society view societies?
Yeah, but they're not a creation from us. They are just something that reflects information back to us.
I mean, it's same, but different. If you didn't have us, then you wouldn't have the things that we fear. And
I mean, I guess
they're the manifestation of our fears.
Yeah, but the way that you put it is that we created them. But I don't think they have been created by us. They already exist. They just reflect information back to you.
Yeah,
so
we're the ones that differentiate their stem cells.
Well, yeah, but if you told me you're a serial killer every day, it doesn't make me a serial killer.
But you're not physical, or you're not just energetic, you're physical.
Okay.
That's different.
Yeah, but you didn't create me.
I know, but I'm saying as
I might
a stem
go
cell,
and be a serial killer.
It's the differentiation
you
of
didn't
who they are that's creating something.
Create me.
You got anything else to say about your demons?
You got any questions? You're supposed to ask me questions.
No, I don't want to talk to demons. I don't have questions. You want to talk to mermaids? Cool. I don't want to talk to demons. We've already talked to Beelzebub, but I'm also just like weirded out by it because there's a lot of like hearsay about demon things. So no one's like, one person will say that Beelzebub is the demon of envy, another one will say that he's the demon of wrath, and then another one will say that the demon of wrath is someone else. Apparently,
they literally wrote books about it.
Apparently, Belphegor is the demon of gluttony. So it all makes no sense. That's what we're gonna learn today.
This demon that I'm talking to says there's more than just the 7 demons. We just are unaware of them as human beings.
Well, yeah, no, I know there's more than the 7 demons. There's a lot more. But I'm just saying, when you categorize the 7 demons, people are categorize them in every single way under the sun. Where Beelzebub is sometimes the demon of gluttony, and then in this one, he's the demon of envy. So no one actually has a consistent and like standardized way in which to categorize demons at all. At all. So I'm like, how am I supposed to give
What about Lucifer? I think Lucifer's always Pride.
Lucifer is Pride, but sometimes they'll say that he isn't even one of them. He's just like the king of them. But then other people say that Satan
is Pride.
So, sometimes they'll
But Satan doesn't exist.
Well, apparently Satan does exist. Satan isn't a place. Satan is a person, and Satan is actually Sathanas.
Can you talk to Satan? Does he sound like a jet engine that's broken? And he's like super tall.
No. I see the color green.
His energy talks.
Yeah, when I think of Satan, I think about the thing that talks backwards from...
Yeah, you know how people... Because I was just going to say, it sounds like they're talking in tongues. It's like really big. Like bigger than the ceiling. Which the ceilings are vaulted. And he looks like a cloud that comes up from the ground. I feel like he makes people go crazy. Which is probably why they talk in tongues.
He's apparently, according to this rendition... Okay, well... There's a lot of different classifications of demons. Anyways, let's just start with this. The spiritual definition of demons is a malevolent supernatural entity or a forceful, fierce, or skillful performer of a specified activity. Like myself, I'm a demon at giving readings.
I don't get it.
Come on, that's hilarious.
Leo jar.
However, there's a literal meaning of demon, and it is, quote, a source or agent of evil, distress, or ruin. That's Sam. She's an agent of distress.
Of anxiety.
Of evil. So there's a classification of demons, however, it's very complicated. There are many different classifications of this funky little entities known as demons or daemons, depending on what you want to do. And as far as I can tell, the only difference between a demon and a daemon is the spelling.
Rank.
and which one someone thinks is more important than the other.
Yeah, I
And
feel like
that's
it's rank.
Up to interpretation. Well,
So
rank,
how heavy they are.
rank is one of the ways that you can classify them. You can also classify them by domain, which is the place in existence which they rule over, which is different
Are there
from rank.
different planes of existence that we believe they rule?
Well, there's different domains. So, like, if you're doing the 7 ones of the 7 inner circles of hell or whatever, where I'm selling tea, then that's a domain. But
The
then
9
if you
layers
do,
of hell.
then if you do rank, then like Lucifer's number 1, and then like Asmodeus is like number 7 or something.
So does that go into Dante's Inferno?
I have no idea. There's so many ways, and there's so many people that have classified things, and not all of them are Christian or like say that they're Christian in religion, but a lot of them that have classified them do. So it's annoying. So all depending on whoever's classifying or making the list of classifications, the classification of demons depends on the era in which the list was created and things such as the list's purpose. So if people are trying to classify demons for a purpose, the purposes ranged from traditional medicine, exorcisms, ceremonial magic, witch hunts, lessons in morality, folklore, religious rituals, and a combination of all of those ones. The classifications could also be according to astrological connections, elemental forms, noble titles, parallel to the angelic hierarchy, by association with particular sins, diseases, and other calamities, or by what an angel or saint opposes them. So it's like, how do you classify an angel and a demon, and how do you just classify a demon if these are all of the ways in which people classify them? It really is just like a hodgepodge of absolute, it's a calamity in and of itself. Which is hilarious, because if we're talking about demons, they're like, it's the only way. So classifications can also be made by location, which is their rank as where they are within the demon army, or where they are within a domain, which is if you're using a classification of domain where, like, for example, there were the ones that are their elemental forms. Some of them deal with earth, wind, fire, rain, certain like actual like geological and geographical calamities, since we're using that word. And I'm just like, this is a lot. So many of the authors who have made classifications of demons are usually, they identify themselves as Christians, though there are other ones that don't really classify themselves as one or the other. Sometimes they're like, I'm a magician, I'm a witch, I'm an occultist, I do other religious, spiritual things, and then here's my classification. So all they're just trying to throw their hat into the ring of classifying demons, and I feel like demons don't want to be classified because they're just what they are, and they think it's funny. They're like, let there be panic. So one of the first demons, I guess the internet says, is Beelzebub, Lucifer, and Leviathan were the first 3 angels to fall from heaven. And Leviathan is the one where we talk about time.
What? I'm talking to demons.
I know.
Because you keep saying, there's no rank, but they say that there is rank. Well, this guy does. He says that a lot of other demons lie about things, but it is his job to give you the information that is necessary for you to understand things.
Okay.
Because he tells me about...
I'm not saying that there isn't a rank, I'm just saying that people can't agree on one.
Yeah, well, I'm just
which is
telling
why it's
you
funny.
There is one.
Okay.
Because they're, those little, like, they're showing me Hades, and they're showing me his little minion things.
Yeah, his little gargoyles.
Mm-hmm.
His imps.
Because they're like, oh yeah, we treat the things that don't have power as such.
Well, those are imps, which are a type of demon, actually. We'll get into those, which is why it's funny that you're saying that.
What were you asking me, though? Something about Beelzebub?
There are the first, according to some people, the first demons are Beelzebub, Lucifer, and Leviathan, who were the first 3 angels to fall from heaven. But if we're going to do that route of Christian things, then sometimes demons are referred to as daemons, and the following 7 lovely fellows are what some people consider daemons instead of demons, and they're attributed to John Wycliffe and his classification of demons, which is called the Lantern of Light classification of demons. So you have the first, and I think this is by rank. That's how he was going to classify his demons, this John Wycliffe dude. So the first one is Lucifer, and he deals with pride. The second one is Beelzebub. He goes with envy. Then you have Satan or Satanas, who deals with wrath. Then you have Abaddon, who deals with sloth. Coming in at 5 is Mammon, and he is dealing with greed. At
Amadeus.
6, what?
Amadeus, is he one of them?
Amadeus is a different name.
Oh.
Amadeus is like Amadeus Mozart or Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. But anyways, yes, you're close. He's number 7. So number 6 is Belphegor, who deals with gluttony, and then number 7 is Asmodeus, which is lust.
So they tell me that this man was correct because those are the fallen angels. Those would be the daemons, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. But a lot of people don't agree, or there's a lot of cross fire, for lack of a better term.
When demons like to say they've existed forever. Sorry, this man's telling me, or this demon guy's telling me.
Well, it's not that they existed forever, but some people say that Satan deals with greed, and another one says that Abaddon deals with gluttony, and no one can freaking decide on who deals with what. So
she's like, it doesn't matter.
But
you don't need to know that information.
This is what John Wycliffe in his Lantern of Light classification says.
But they are the ones that created the rest of it. Because they're angels.
So the next classification is the King James classification of demons. So a few years before the publication of the King James Bible, this dude, King James, wrote a dissertation titled Demonology, and it was first published in 1597. So yeah, he wrote a lot of stuff about those demons, and he did it by like domains, and it makes a lot of sense because the King James classification of demons is the one that tells people, like the lovely, wonderful people on the internet that says that we're talking to demons, that we are talking to demons. Literally, the King James Bible that came out right after this demonology dissertation that he wrote is the ones that tells people that we talk to demons. They're specters or ghosts that are not in heaven. So.
Okay, well, we can talk to demons, or we can talk to something else.
Yeah, but this King James guy is the reason that people on the internet think that that when we're talking to human souls, we're talking to demons.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I just thought it was interesting to put that in there. So, there are types of demons, and I wrote that I was going to write about the hierarchy, but there's a lot of controversy when it comes to organizing them in some sort of order. So I'm just going to name the ones, or the one types of demons that I found. And you guys can judge, it'd be like the judge and jury of their hierarchy, because that's hilarious. But please, just so you know that I was looking at trying to figure out a hierarchy of demons, and when I was, literally somebody on the internet wrote that we shouldn't call it a hierarchy, but actually a diabolarchy. Anyways, so we have daemons, that's Daemons. And it's interesting because this is the one thing that I found that's different than what I said before of like the difference between daemons and demons is demons are like lesser whatever ranking demons, so the daemons are the gooder, higher ranking ones. But this person said that daemons are the good demons who dwell above the ground and are donors of wealth to mortals. So I think those are the ones that...
Well, they're archangels.
People like to talk about and are like, they're not bad, which is fine.
They're fallen archangels. So an archangel is for the people.
Mm-hmm. Which makes a lot of sense.
Which is also why they're dark, so they help explain darkness to human beings.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a thing that they need to know.
Exactly. Because they were like, God wants to keep things from people.
Correct!
Correct! Can you put plankton in there scouting that, please?
No.
Then you also have succubus and incubus. These are sexual demons. And it's actually interesting because Lilith and Samuel, I think, or Samel, are the people or the demons, because Lilith is sometimes referred to as a demon in some cultures, that are the mother and father of incubi and succubi, which are the sexual demons that are known to get humans or mortals pregnant, and then what they make is something called a cambion. An Achaean or Cambion is the offspring of a demon and a human. They're like the demigods, but of the underworld. Then we have imps. Imps actually originate from Germanic lore, according to one source. Wikipedia. And an imp is a small, lesser demon, but unlike Christian folklore, or like the demons that you were talking to, you were saying how Hades has the two little imps, and that's in Greek mythology, I assume?
Yeah.
They look like gargoyles. Well, unlike Christian folklore, demons in Germanic legends aren't evil. They're oftentimes portrayed as mischievous rather than evil, and some even act as attendants to the gods. Little gargoyles. Imps, my dude. Then we also have familiars, or A.K.A familiar spirits. These were seen as supernatural entities or lesser demons that assist witches or cunning folk in their practice of magic. But the difference between familiars is who they work for. So if a familiar works for a witch, they're a witch. They're malevolent. But if they're a familiar or a familiar spirit that works for a cunning folk, which is different than a witch, then they're for good. So the difference between witches and cunning folk is witches are there to do malevolent, evil things like turn into a pig and put one in your oven or something, I don't know. And then cunning folk are people that are like witch doctors, I guess. They're the ones that help heal people, like herbal medicine and stuff like that. Next you have the Druida or the Druden, and the Druden are malevolent nighttime spirits, and they're associated with nightmares, and that type of word for this type of demon, the Druden or Druida, also works with, I think it's Dunfusten, which means like nighttime foot, and that deals with a mark that looks like a pentagram to keep them away, but they're just basically like southern Germanic spirits that bring nighttime terrors to people, nightmares. Then you have these ones, I'm sure there are ones that have specific names, but then you have a category of demons that deal with lies and mischief, and then you have a category of demons that deal with the demons that attack saints, and then you have demons that include old women who attend witches' sabbaths, which if you ask me is just a girls' night out. So they're the demons from like, what is it?
I don't know. Hocus Pocus.
No, like Salem. How like there was one demon and they're like, the devil told me to go into the woods and I saw Anna there. And they're like, actually Anna and Mary were just having a good time in the woods because it was ladies' night out and both their husbands died of the plague, so it's fine. And they were just hanging out, but then some little girls who were actually being possessed by like the liar and mischief mediums were like, they were a witch! And they were like, no, we were just doing this. Like, Anna and Mary was at the Sabbath. You know what I'm saying? No. People that understand what I'm talking about will.
Okay, great.
Like when girls would go out and have a party, they called it a witch's Sabbath.
Okay.
So they're like, they're a witch.
So that's a demon?
I guess there's a demon that goes out and is like, hey girls, you guys want to have a ladies' night out? And they're like, yeah, let's go, Satan. We're going to paint our nails. But they were like...
So they're going into the forest to meet with demons.
Apparently, but I think it's just a ladies' night out.
Interesting.
So there's like one demon that's like...
Are there dark seraphins? Because this man tells me that the ranks are similar to angels because they are angels. The things that you're talking about, I can't decipher. They just look like big swarms of clouds. They're just different beings, different types of beings that are dark. What?
Are they sirens? Seraphins, the dark seraphins are sirens.
You mean the bird ones? What? I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know. Seraphins screech and so do sirens, so that's what my brain puts together. So anyways, if one religion doesn't agree with another religion, what one religion likes to do to the other religion is say that all of the gods and deities of the other religion that isn't the religion that's talking says they're all demons. So you know, you can also have demons that are actually the gods of other religions, but people are like, since my religion's better than their religion and more valid, everything in their religion is just a demon, but my religion isn't demons. And then the other religion's like, nuh-uh, mine aren't demons, you're demons. And then they're like, now there's demons for both religions. And then the gods are like, nuh-uh, yaha, nuh-uh, yaha. So my hypothesis is that demons can just be created because people are scared and don't like to just share ideas. So there you go.
Okay.
That's demons. You're welcome.
Okay. Do you have questions for me?
Can we hire imps to help us?
They're already helping you. First
Excellent.
answer they told me. You don't get to hire them though.
Yes, I do.
The higher beings already hired them to do things in your life with you.
Hired to hire?
I don't know what that means.
Can you talk to the Gorgons behind me and tell them what's up?
Oh, are you talking about your snake lady?
Yeah. My snake lady. I'm a snake.
She's not a demon. It's rude if you assume that. Yeah, she doesn't come from the heavy place.
Mm-hmm.
She is in a different dimensional plane. She's not from the heavy place.
Why did I say that? I talk to demons all the time, so I'm done with them.
I don't understand.
That's why I don't want to talk to them, because I feel like I already know too much about them, so I just
Like
don't
what?
care. I don't know, did I used to work with them or something? This
Did
may or
you
may
used to
not
work with
be
them?
in the podcast or video. Yeah.
What do you mean? Like in your past life or now?
Past life and now, if that's an option.
The demons taught you things.
In
You think
past
it's
lives?
negative, but it's not.
I don't think it's negative. I think in this life it could be negative, but I feel like in my past life I worked with them a lot, which is why I don't care. It's almost like I'm not supposed to do things or something about it. It's like too easy type thing.
What's too easy?
Just like talking about them. I don't know how to voice my question.
What question? You want to know if you worked with them?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I see you looking at a book, and there are 3 behind you, and they help you write things down and understand different aspects of humanity. Because there are a lot of different things as a soul in which you are to understand. It doesn't make any sense. The things that are lower have all of the information from human beings, because when we speak it drops to their dimension. So they have more of an understanding of the things that are said. That is the information that they have. However, they don't have information that is higher than us. There's like a dome-shaped wall around it. They can't get further up than the 3rd physical dimension. So that's where they get their information from, which is why they which is why they lie about things. Because they don't necessarily have all of the information. So they're telling me about...
They fake it till they make it.
Well, they're telling me about the haunted
That's
side.
why the black-eyed children are like, can I have ketchup for my apple?
They're telling me about the haunted side when we did that video for them, where that thing didn't know things about Patrick.
Yeah.
Because it's lower, so it only knows the things that were put into existence from the 3rd dimension. So the things that are above, which is the all-knowing type of thing, they don't have access to unless they get access to your energetic being. So this woman's spirit that's with Patrick prevented that from happening. They're also telling me because when I talk to them, it gives me a headache and makes me feel sick. And it's like they are explaining, it's like things get slower and heavier, which is why you feel sick. They're like make a joke. They're like, you get like motion sickness really easily. That's why you feel sick when you talk to us. They think it's funny. Talking to them is like comical because they make jokes about things.
Yeah, I already feel sick. I feel like I was a man when I talked to them. I had to understand more things about
Both.
people because I wanted to understand what I did wrong in the life that I lived.
You were both a man and a woman. I see the one life you're talking about, but I also see one where you're a witch.
But that was when I was dead is when I was talking to them, not when I was alive.
Oh, when you're a human?
I think I was a human
You were a
man
soul.
and I was talking to them.
But you were dead.
Yes.
Okay. So you were a soul.
Yeah. I was the soul of a human man. I feel like I was some sort of like general or something for an army. And something went really bad, so when I died, I was like, I need to understand why this went wrong. And I think that's why I went down there. Like, to literally and figuratively figure out the demons.
You see, like, a female-presenting demon that's softer and, like, spins around in a circle.
No.
That's the one that you talked to. That's the one that led you through it, because I feel like things had a hard time approaching you because you're a light being.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a flashlight puts out an amount of light, and darkness can't get where the, like, aura of the flashlight is.
Mm.
So you're a light being going down to the dark place it's easier to go down than it is up. However, it's harder for things to get near you because you emit a frequency, your aura.
TM. Disney movie idea.
Disney movie. Going to hell.
Well, they show me it's like Hercules when Hercules talks to his parents, but the opposite.
I don't know that I know what you're talking about.
I'll explain it to you afterwards.
Okay.
That's really cute. But yeah, they make me feel really lightheaded and nauseous, so.
Motion
You got
sickness.
anything else?
Yeah, you got any other questions for me?
No.
So, if you like this kind of content, make sure to let us know below. Make sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Make sure to check out Angels next, because obviously we had to talk about angels first, and then demons. And these are our lovely patrons. If you want to become a patron, you get extra content. And we'll see you guys in the next one.
We are your PsycKicks.